Alright, so the other day I was looking through Manga for Life and I was trying to find something new to read, preferably a new shonen series, like something that was pretty popular because I got to get the views when I'm absolutely dying out here like this. So I was searching and I flipped through Chainsaw Man because that tends to do absolutely shit on my channel, and I flipped through a few other shonen, some seinen as well, even isekai, and once in a while I even came across a hentai. But when I was looking around, I came across Dandadan, a series that I've heard of, but I've not really cared nearly enough to actually check out. Well, it turns out I actually checked it out, and here's a video on Dandadan. So I've never been the biggest fan of modern shonen, as you'll probably see with the Jujutsu Kaisen video that has either already been uploaded or will be uploaded soon. I have never really been like over the top about these new manga and anime series. In fact, I'm more of the kind of guy who likes the old seinen series that likes to delve into deep topics. Shonen are pretty cool, there's some shonen I really like, but most of them tend to be from the older generation. No, that doesn't mean I'm not open to trying new things. I mean, I'm trying out Dandadan here, and I'm gonna give you my raw and honest thoughts. And I've tried out a few other series that I've actually liked, such as Chainsaw Man, which is actually probably one of my favorite new gen manga series in the shonen demographic. But here's another one, Dandadan, a very interesting story about a girl who believes in spirits but thinks UFOs are absolutely impossible, and a boy who thinks the complete opposite of that, thinking that UFOs definitely exist, but spirits are a load of bullshit. If you ask me, I couldn't give less of a shit. So the girl, Momo Ayase, sets out to see if UFOs are real, and the boy, Ken Takakura, or as he is called in the story, Okarun, goes out to see if spirits are real. And it turns out, both were correct. And both were also wrong. So there were spirits and there were UFOs, which is really weird because this is situated in kind of like a normal life setting, but it turns out it's nowhere near normal. These characters end up having ridiculous powers that absolutely do not get explained at all. Now, I opened up the first chapter and I read through it a bit. It seemed pretty decent, right? Just like a pretty chill first chapter. Except the main girl almost gets cost-cut in chapter 1. So the two kind of travel on this little adventure of fighting spirits and UFOs, and there turns out to be a very common thing with these spirits and UFOs. Dandadan is like this shonen series. It should be like about fighting and never giving up, and just a pretty solid shonen series. It can't be as crazy as Chainsaw Man, can it? Well, as Ayase runs into the aliens and Okarun runs into the spirit, we find out that both of them have a weird obsession with penis. Yeah, just when you think it couldn't get any weirder, just when you thought Chainsaw Man was the weirdest and craziest it got, that's not the case, man. Dandadan is pretty crazy. Now, I'll be honest, it's pretty wild, pretty close in terms of wildness to Chainsaw Man, but it's not nearly as dark and grotesque as Chainsaw Man is, I'll be completely honest. The amount of characters that die in Chainsaw Man doesn't even compare to Dandadan. In fact, I'm like 30 chapters in and not a single character. So that should tell you that this series isn't really about killing or defeating a certain enemy. Heck, I don't even know what the point of this story is. It's kind of just a wholesome high school romance with aliens and spirits. Dude, I have no idea what the fuck I just read. Now, when you think this couldn't get any weirder, the robot aliens whoop out their ChatGPT made schlongs and nearly do the dirty deed of impregnating a child. Remember when I said the main girl almost gets cost-cut in chapter 1? Yeah, it's not even a lie. Now, it turns out these aliens are called Serpoians and they only produce men, so they have to clone each other. So naturally, getting their hands on a woman means that they now have the perfect plot for the next mainstream hentai. Now, reading the first 3 chapters was pretty slow. I got tired of the constant romance between these kids. Now, just listen up, okay? I'm not against romance. I love Guts and Casca's romance. Man, what the fuck? I love everything about Berserk, okay? I love everything about Berserk. But when it comes to high school romances, I just think it's cringe. I think it's like, I can't care less about underage children loving each other. Like, you really think I give a shit about that? And when they emphasize that in the story, I get that it's wholesome. I get that a lot of people enjoy that kind of storytelling. It's just not for me. I need crazy shit going on. I need insane plot twists. That's what I like in a story. You can't change my mind about it. Plus, the main boy is actually such a bitch. Just to be completely outright and honest, he is not at all a brave or heroic character. I mean, comparing him to like Denji from Chainsaw Man, it is obviously kind of similar, except this character, there is absolutely zero relation. Like, I completely do not relate to this character, and he's not even that cool. So okay, I take that back. His transformation is pretty fucking cool, I can't lie. I'm making him the thumbnail, bro. Anyways, as I said, the constant romance isn't for me. The first few chapters are pretty slow, so I didn't really see the point of reading this manga. You know, this is my new favorite manga. Things get a little more interesting when there's some more romance, and then we reach a section of the story where we go hunting for the main character's balls. Usually I'm not the kind of guy who dies laughing at supposedly funny shit in anime and manga, but Dandadan has me in stitches sometimes. I mean, it's not often in a story where they pull out like a silver ball the size of like an orange and it turns out to be the main character's testicle. Like that's pretty funny. For some reason, this testicle fiasco is actually jokes, and despite Okarun and Ayase's childish romance, they did have some hilarious moments together, which makes me enjoy both of their characters a lot more, especially when Okarun transforms and Ayase is just pretty cool throughout the story. Again, I don't tend to favor these weak and pathetic main characters, but if Makunochi Ippo ended up in my top 10 favorite manga characters, I'm not going to completely dismiss Okarun. Well, things start to progress and we get more characters introduced, and we meet this girl. Why am I getting Nina vibes? So yes, I haven't read the entire series. There's a reason I haven't read the entire series. It's because simply, it is not for me. I don't really think I have to elaborate more on that. It doesn't seem like anything crazy, deep, or psychological. It has its ups and downs like a lot of other series, but it's just not something that I find myself intrigued in very much. To me, it's more just of a fun read than anything else. It doesn't really blow my mind or anything. It's just pretty cool. And because of Seiko. Now, the power system in this manga is absolutely just, I literally have no idea what it is. I don't even think the author cared to put a power system in there. Like, I don't know if I missed something. I think I read pretty like clearly, right? I read in between the lines a little bit, but like, I did not even see like the power system at all. This Aira girl just okay, I'm getting into spoilers at this point. But yeah, more or less seems like a high school romance. Those are kind of my honest thoughts on Dandadan. It's a pretty solid series. If you're into this kind of stuff, you'll probably like it. If you love Chainsaw Man, you'll probably like Dandadan, especially for its like goofy parts, but there isn't really a hugely defined story. There isn't really a goal for any of the main characters aside from their romance. And yeah, that's about it. I never really got past chapter 27, so I'm assuming it gets better, but unless I get more recommendations to continue reading, I probably won't continue reading. Hope you liked the video, and I hope I stay consistent.